To talk about stack. Stack is a data structure like queues. However, for stack, we use Rust in is the first out. So consider this kind of a jar like. So whatever you put in, the Rust one should be the first one to get out. So to get in, use push. To get out, use pop. So this data structure is called stack. In comparison to stack, we have what we call a queue. A queue is the first in, first out. So whatever comes in first is what will go out first. So to discuss about the data structure, let us discuss about stack, whereby the Rust thing to come in is the first one to go out. What we are calling Rust in, first out. So here we have the script. In this script, I'm using stack class. Then I'm having a constructor whereby I have initialized the number of items to empty. Also, the count is 0. So the constructor, I am initializing the number of items to empty and the count to 0. So to add elements to the top of the stack, we use push. So push the element name, the element, what is it that you want to push. Then now I take my items and the count that they are in, because for array it must start with 0 and this count is 0. So I say these items and the array that they are in is equals to, I assign it equal to the element itself. So I can log this to the console log, and when I log this, this is what I have. That is this is the message that will appear on the console log. Then I increment the count to the next number. Of course, what I return is the count less 1, so that I can return the count that I'm in. So if we do that, we can try to, if we do that, probably stack push to 10, and you run that in the console, you find that to 10 added to 0. Probably let us do another one. Probably we say we want to add 300. We add 400. Then we run this in console. You see, so we have to 10. Okay, where is it? Sorry. So we have to 10 added to position 0, 300 added to position 1, 400 added to position 2. So this is the last item to be added. So you realize that as you go by, it keeps on adding to the positions. So that's why here, that's why when I'm pushing, I'm saying these dot items, the count that is in, which we initialize to 0, then I assign the element and I increment that to avoid an override. I think that is clear that now. I'm returning because it's a function. Okay, so to pop, what pop means, it's used to remove an element from stack. So what I'm doing here is I'm checking if the stack is empty. If it's empty, return undefined. Otherwise, we let the deleted item a variable be equal to this item. Then we take the count that we are in, then we less 1, so that you get the exact element that you have, because count is usually higher by 1 compared to the array. So again, you decrement by 1 so that it's not counted. Then we log that. So when we do that, if we do pop stack, if we do stack dot pop, if we do that way, what we want is to remove the last item. Pop automatically removes the last item, and when we do that, what we expect is the last item should be removed from this stack. So this is what it does. It doesn't delete the item completely, but it just doesn't display. So we want to see which is the item that is removed from the stack. Which is this item that is removed? So let me run this in the console. So we have 400 removed. 400 is the last item. Assume we have that twice, and again I run my node. You see, so 400 removed, then after that 300 removed, then if I run another one, we'll have 210 removed, then we'll have the final one should give me undefined, because the number of items we have is 3, but we are removing 4. So the last one should show me it's undefined. It should give me undefined. So we had 400 removed, 300 removed, then we had 210 removed. Yeah, so 210, this is 400, 300, 210, that is it. But here I'm staring it. So if the count is 0, return undefined. So it can't return undefined because we are returning the element. So for it to do that, you need then to do console. You need to console here, console.log. You need to console here. So when you do that, now it should be able to give you undefined. Yeah, it should be able to return undefined because you can't remove what you don't have. So that is pop. Pop is used to remove an item from a stack. Then going down here we have pick. Pick is used to show the topmost element in a stack, and probably to do that we just use console log. They need to log for you the element that's uppermost by using this count less 1. Then you return that. So we can call the pick to see what it does. So I don't want to remove all the elements. Probably I can call the pick here. No, probably after removing 400 I can try to see what is the topmost element. So I expect to bring 300. So let me see, because I expect the message to be the top element is, then it returns the element itself as 300. That's what I expect. So let me run the node. So here the topmost element is 300. So the pick is used to check the topmost element. We have IsEmpty to check if we don't have anything, if the stack is empty or not. And again, to do that you actually console.log. Then it checks the count if it is equals to 0. If it's equals to 0 question mark, then it turns stack is empty. You separate this by a colon to give you the alternative, stack is not empty. Then you return this. So to achieve that, let us again call it down, call the function down here. So we know that during the start it should be empty. The stack doesn't have anything, so we just say stack dot is empty. So it should give me it's empty because we know that the stack is empty at the beginning. Probably we can check before pop or after the first pop. I know it won't be empty. Then I say stack dot is empty. Then so here it shouldn't be empty, but the first one it should be empty. And I'm just calling what I'm doing, I'm just calling the array and checking the array if the count is 0. That's what I'm doing here. I'm basically logging to see if this count is 0. If it is 0, then it doesn't have anything and it should return the stack is empty. So let me run this to see. So what happens at the beginning, it's saying the stack is empty, which is correct. Then here stack is not empty because you don't expect that to be empty. Another thing that we need to study is size. For size, we actually again just log it because we are counting. You just do the size by counting how many items do you have in that array. You just count this dot count, and then you have elements in stack. That is it, because you are basically counting. So let us probably do that at the end, because at the end I know it's become undefined because I have removed all them completely. So let me count here. So stack must start with the name of the function dot size. The name of my function is size. Then after that I expect to give me 1 2 3. We should have 3 as the size. So if you come here, we have 3 elements in stack. Then here we have print. We want to print the elements that we have. For us to print the elements that we have, then we have to initialize an empty string. Once you initialize, then you use a loop. You say you let I is equals to 0, I is less than the count, then you increment by 1. So you take the string which is empty, you add the items at position I can 0, the next loop which becomes 1 2 and all that up to less than the count that we have. Then it separates that by space. Then we return the new string. So let us try the print, then we see what we have. Probably we can, the print should return the string. So let us try the print here, probably after the size, because I know we should be having 3 items and I want to display the 3 items. So you say stack dot print so I expect 3 items from there. So let us run the code and expect the 3 items that I have. Okay, so the 3 items that I have, you find that okay, so we had added the last item, 3 elements in stack. Okay, so we have, what does that is the size. Then after the size, it should be able to print. So it's size print pop. So it have not printed, but if I check closely on my print, we notice that it's not, we are not printing anything to the console. So that's where we are not printing anything to the console, and probably to achieve that we can say we can have this here. Sorry, so it's returning the string. Let us try this, console dot log, then it is print the string. We see what we have. Let us try to run this again. Yeah, so this is the element that we have, 210 300 400. So I just printed it on the log, on the console log. Then we have to clear stack. You have to initialize the number of items to 0, the count to 0. Then you have just cleared what you have in the stack. So for example, if you clear the stack after push, after you have finished pushing, you just try to clear the stack, we notice what happens. The other, you notice dot clear. Okay, so you see, so what comes after that is either 0 elements, you don't have anything, the stack is empty and all that. So this is it. This is about stack. Stack is about what comes in first is the last to get out. What I mean in other terms, the last in is the first out. You will have to, whatever you added in last should be the first to come out, and that's what we call about stack. Yeah, that's about stack, and an important aspect of data structure. Follow my GitHub at Kiboma 2021 for more content and for more projects that I have done on my GitHub. Thanks a lot. Meet you in the next lesson.